Hello, hello. I hope you're doing awesome. In this video, I wanted to share 5 ways to be the artist of your life. Be the artist of your life. Now, what does that mean? So, I wrote this book. It's called Do What You Love, a guide to living your creative life without leaving your job. And the whole idea, the whole essence of the book, I share the 7 myths stopping people from pursuing their creativity, from going after their dreams. And it's so easy for us to do. So I shared these 7 myths. And I've been thinking, as I've been having conversations with people, I've been thinking a lot about this idea of being an artist because everyone's an artist. I have a poem in the book. It's called We Are All Artists. And I believe that we are all artists in our own unique creative way. We are all creative. We all have ideas that we want to get out. We all have passion projects, things that we would love to pursue. And that's what the book is about, is talking about your creative pursuits. What are those creative pursuits? Those soulful activities that bring joy to your life. They are singing, dancing, photography, writing, video creation, improv comedy, jujitsu, whatever those things are that you can do in a way that only you can do, that you build, that you create. That some of those things you share out into the world, and some of those things you keep just for yourself because they bring you joy. That's what they're meant to do. And I've been having conversations with some people who say, I'm not creative. What do you mean I'm an artist? I'm not an artist, but you are the artist of your life. The way that you design it, the way that you show up every day, the way that you love, the way that you create, the way that you work, the way that you approach life. So, I wanted to share these 5 ways for you to be the artist of your life because you are the artist of your life and you get to go create something, which is exciting. We are human beings. We are meant to create. We are meant to live. We are meant to have experiences. We are meant to meet interesting people and do interesting things, things that are interesting to you. And we get to discover more about what those things are as we grow, as we develop, as we work, as we have our own experiences and create opportunities in our lives. Okay, 5 ways to be the artist of your life. Number 1, stay curious. Stay curious. Remember when you were a kid? When we were kids, we didn't question. Well, we questioned all the time, right? We were always asking why. Why do I have to go to bed? Why do I have to eat that? Why do we have to go here? But we didn't question whether or not we should pursue what interests us. We never thought, oh, there's not a reason why we can't be a ballerina, an astronaut, a veterinarian, whatever it is that we thought we wanted to be. When we were young, we were so curious about life. And sometimes, as we get older and we have all of these responsibilities that show up on our doorstep every single day that we have to deal with, we forget to be curious. Stay curious. Be a lifelong learner. Read great books, listen to interesting podcasts. Reach out to people who you find interesting, whose work you really admire. Never stop growing. Explore areas that are interesting to you. For me, one of the areas that I find so fun, it's one of my creative pursuits, is poetry. Now, years ago, I was not into poetry. I was never good at it. I didn't always understand it. It just wasn't of interest. It wasn't interesting to me in the way that it is for so many people. Now I kind of don't even like saying that now because it's such a big part of my life. I love it so much. I love reading great poems. I love finding new authors. I love kind of thinking through when I read a poem, what was this person thinking when they wrote it? Is this about someone? How did they think of that imagery to use? How did they get started? How long did this poem take? I'm so fascinated by it. And so there's something in your life that you're so curious about when you give yourself permission to stay curious and be open to learning new things every single day. Number 2, believe that the future is bigger than your past. Believe that the future is bigger than your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the bad decisions that you made. You are not a bad day that you just had. That is not who you are. Every day is a chance for us to take one step forward towards our dream. But we won't do that. We won't be brave enough to take that step until we believe that the future is bigger than our past. That we believe that no matter where we are today, we have the power to take that one step, that next right step. It's not always easy, right? Especially when we get caught up in our head, we overthink, we overanalyze, we have that negative self talk. But when we believe that the future is bigger than our past and we're focused on that, it gives us the courage to move forward. It gives us the courage to say yes to ourselves and no to caring what other people think, no to the haters, no to the unknown, and just believing that that next step is going to take us wherever we're meant to be. Number 3, play the long game. Play the long game, right? I love Simon Sinek. He wrote a book called The Infinite Game, and it's essentially about there are finite games and there are infinite games. The game that you watch on Sunday, your Sunday football, if you're a football fan, that is a finite game. There are winners, there are losers. There's a start, there's an end. That is a finite game. Business is an infinite game. Life is an infinite game. And when we approach life as an infinite game, then what is so great is that we take the wins and we take the losses. It's okay if we have a bad day or week because we know that in the long run, we're going to get ourselves out of it. We can get through the messy middle. We can get through the challenging times only when we have that long view in mind. Play the long game. Play the long game. And again, believe that the future is bigger than your past. We can get through those challenging, more difficult times in our lives a lot easier when we have that kind of a mindset. Number 4, question your thoughts. Question your thoughts. Think about it. We are fed so many messages. Our minds, those crazy minds with that little inner critic, tells us so many things that are not true. And we are fed so many messages, and especially when it comes to social media with the algorithms, we all know that we're getting fed information. If we say, hey, I'm looking at this video, that means that I like this kind of content, which means that the algorithm is now pushing that kind of content directly to us. And so we're feeding our minds with so many of the same messages, maybe through different people's eyes, that we can forget, hey, maybe I should reconsider. Maybe I should really think through this. Is this what I really want in my life? Am I creating what I really want? I read, so Adam Grant has a book called Think Again. I love this book because it helps us to rethink, right? To question our thoughts. It gives us permission to change our minds about some things that we've been thinking about in our life and the way that we approach people and places and opportunities and business. It's exciting. It puts the power back in your hands. And especially, don't believe everything that you think. We have to sometimes get that inner critic out of our heads and back into our body and knowing, hey, this is what I really want. These are the dreams that I have for myself and for my life. Number 5, find Muse Mentors. So in my book, Do What You Love, I talk about muses in the book. And I love this idea. I don't know what you think when you think muse, but I have this vision of just this beautiful fairy looking creature that just comes and sprinkles fairy dust. That's what we want, right? We want to. We sometimes think we have this muse that's going to inspire us to do the work and to create. But that is myth number 7. Myth number 7 in the book is inspiration will strike. It does not strike. We've got to create. We've got to create. It only strikes when we actually do the work. And so I talk about finding Muse mentors, and Muse mentors are people that we look towards because we enjoy their work, we appreciate their work, we value what they have to say and what they create. Maybe it's an author, a speaker, an influencer that you really appreciate their content, an artist, a musician, an entrepreneur. someone in your life that you look towards and you say, wow, they're creating something interesting and cool. And it's so fascinating because we get to look at their work and see what they're doing and and not copy it. In fact, Austin Kleon has a book called Steal Like an Artist. And there's this beautiful quote in the book that talks about how we can't steal other people's work. We can't steal other people's work because they are them and you are you. But what you can do is you can learn. We can learn from other people. I love when we get to watch people doing incredible work and we can see, hey, how can I learn from what they're doing? How can I maybe take pieces of what they've done and incorporate it into my own way? When we watch people build businesses, it's why, we love listening to great podcasts like How I Built This. And we get to hear the journeys of these entrepreneurs that are building something. And we're like, wow, they went through all of these challenges. It reminds us that they are human too, and that we can do it too. But we also learn from some of the mistakes that people have made. We can also learn from the creative process. And when we are getting emails or we're getting messages or we're watching videos and we're thinking not just, hey, that's a good video, but hey, how did this person create it? How did they think through this idea? How did they choose to shoot it in this way? How did they choose to talk about this particular thing? This is what we get to do. We get to notice all of these different things. And so finding Muse mentors that are out there doing the work so we can learn from them and we can grow from them and we can create that life that we want so much for ourselves. And so those are 5 ways to be the artist of your life. 5 ways to be the artist of your life, because that is what you are every single day. It's almost like we have this blank canvas when we are born, and we get to paint on that canvas. We get to draw on that canvas and write on that canvas, and we get to just keep creating and redesigning our life. But we've got to believe that we are the artist of our life, that yes, things happen that are outside of our control, but we do have so many things that we can control. And when we focus on those things, we get to design the life that we know is meant for us, that we believe is meant for us, that bigger, better future. So I hope these five things help you create your life. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see what you create. And you are creative. And you are the artist of your life. So go create something. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, I would love for you to like it, press that little like button, and hey, share with someone who needs to hear this message. There's a lot of people that are hurting. There's a lot of people that just need a little push to creating the life that really is meant for them, that they need a little bit more joy in their lives. And when they feel more empowered and when they feel like they can finally give themselves permission to create, oh, life will change. Life will be better. So help someone with designing their life. All right, you are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. And hey, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, I invite you to subscribe so we can stay connected.